Everything in your life is a reflection of your inner world. The thoughts you entertain, the emotions you dwell upon, and the beliefs you hold. These are the unseen architects of your reality. If you wish to change your world, you must first change what you allow to take root in your mind. There are silent thieves within: doubt, fear, the need for validation, attachment to the past, and the illusion of struggle. They go unnoticed, yet they shape your destiny. To truly step into the life you desire, you must quietly eliminate all that contradicts your vision. Let us embark on this sacred journey of release. For what you let go of today determines what you shall create tomorrow. What you allow to dwell within you shapes the very fabric of your reality. Your consciousness is the fertile ground from which all experiences grow. If you wish to change your world, you must first become the master of what you permit within the sacred temple of your mind. There is immense power in inner silence, for it is within this silence that creation takes place. When you cease to entertain the noise of doubt, fear, and limitation, you make room for the divine blueprint of your desire to manifest without resistance. The world will tell you that action, effort, and struggle are the means to success. But this is the great illusion. True creation does not arise from frantic effort, but from the quiet certainty of knowing. When you persistently imagine and feel the reality of your wish fulfilled, you summon it into being. The mind that is constantly busy with distractions, anxieties, and external influences scatters its power. But the mind that learns to dwell in the stillness of assumption becomes an irresistible magnet to its desires. Consider for a moment the way a seed grows. It does not struggle, nor does it question its ability to become what it is designed to be. It simply exists in the quiet certainty that the conditions necessary for its growth will be provided. Your desires are no different. They do not require force, nor do they require the noise of reasoning minds telling you what is and is not possible. They require only that you plant them firmly within, nurture them with unwavering faith, and trust that they will unfold in perfect divine timing. Most people live in a state of unconscious creation, allowing their attention to be dictated by the world around them. They react rather than create. They permit doubt to whisper its falsehoods. They entertain fears as if they were wise counselors, and they allow the opinions of others to shape their own self-pity. Yet, in doing so, they forfeit the incredible power that is inherently theirs, the power of deliberate, conscious creation. To step into mastery, you must reclaim this power by becoming selective with what you allow into your consciousness. The first step is to eliminate the distractions that keep you tied to an unfulfilled state. The external world is a mere reflection of your inner world, and if you allow yourself to be consumed by its noise, you will find yourself tossed about by circumstances beyond your control. But when you retreat into inner silence, when you learn to shut out the voices of limitation and dwell in the awareness of your fulfilled desire, you align yourself with the divine process of creation. You do not need the validation of the world. You do not need permission from others to claim your vision as truth. You need only to dwell in the state of having already received. This is the secret that the great mystics and visionaries have understood, that reality bends not to those who beg, but to those who assume. The moment you quiet the mind and dwell in the knowing that your desire is already yours, the universe moves unseen forces to bring it forth. To eliminate the noise, you must first become aware of it. Notice the moments when fear attempts to creep in. Observe the thoughts that tell you why something cannot be done. Recognize the habitual patterns of doubt that have kept you bound to the same cycle of experience. Then, with quiet authority, refuse to entertain them any longer. Instead, turn inward and assume the feeling of already possessing that which you seek. Let it saturate your being. Let it become the dominant tone of your inner world, and watch as the external world reshapes itself to reflect this new state. Your silence is not emptiness, it is fullness. It is the place from which all creation flows. The mind that is still, yet firmly fixed in the assumption of its desire, is a mind that holds unlimited power. Eliminate the distractions, withdraw from the noise, and step into the effortless certainty of creation. For in the silence of your assumption, the world is remade in your image. Doubt and fear are illusions masquerading as wisdom, whispering of limitations that do not truly exist. They are the great deceivers, the silent thieves that rob you of your inheritance, the power to create your reality. The moment you entertain doubt, you divide your mind, and a divided mind cannot create. Fear is nothing but the shadow of the thought you have accepted as real, yet it has no substance of its own. When you eliminate these illusions, you step into the truth of your power, for there is no force greater than a mind fixed unwaveringly on its assumption. You were never meant to live in hesitation, questioning whether your desires are possible. You were meant to create with certainty, to imagine with full confidence, knowing that what you assume will harden into fact. When a desire is born within you, it is because its fulfillment is already possible. But the world, filled with its voices of limitation, will attempt to convince you otherwise. It will present facts, circumstances, and reasons why you should not believe. And yet, those who truly understand the nature of reality know that facts change, circumstances bend, and reasons dissolve before the power of assumption. Doubt is a habit, nothing more. It is a learned response, a conditioned reaction to past experiences where you have allowed the outer world to dictate what is possible. But your past does not define you, nor does it hold the power to limit your future unless you permit it. If you have failed before, it was only because you wavered in belief. If things did not go as planned, it was not because they were impossible, but because doubt crept in and diluted your creative force. When you eliminate doubt, you remove the only true obstacle to manifestation. Fear, too, is an illusion. It is the projection of a reality that does not yet exist. And yet, by dwelling upon it, you make it real. Every time you imagine the worst, you give life to it. Every time you assume failure, you move closer to it. Fear feeds upon your attention, growing stronger the more you entertain it. But the moment you withdraw your focus, it vanishes, revealing itself to be nothing more than a ghostly mirage. The great secret is this: the only power fear has is the power you give it. Remove your attention, and it withers into nothingness. To eliminate fear and doubt, you must first recognize their presence. You must become aware of the moments when they whisper their falsehoods in your mind. They will disguise themselves as logic, as reason, as caution. But you must see them for what they truly are: barriers between you and the life you desire. And then, with quiet conviction, you must refuse to accept them as truth. The mind is your kingdom, and only you decide what is allowed to dwell within it. Instead of fear, assume confidence. Instead of doubt, assume certainty. Do not wait for the world to confirm your belief before you adopt it. Decide now that your desires are already yours, and let no contrary thought take root. The moment you assume your success with unwavering faith, you align with the unseen forces that bring it into being. The world may call this blind faith, but it is not blindness, it is vision. It is the ability to see beyond appearances and recognize that all things first exist in imagination before they are made manifest. Those who achieve great things are not those who never faced fear or doubt, but those who refuse to bow to them. They saw beyond circumstances, beyond obstacles, beyond the illusions of impossibility. They assumed the feeling of their wish fulfilled and persisted in that state until the world had no choice but to conform. You are no different. You hold within you the same power. The only question is whether you will use it, whether you will dare to believe when reason denies it, whether you will eliminate the illusions of doubt and fear and step fully into the knowing of your creative authority. Your mind is the only reality. What you accept as true becomes your experience. If you accept doubt, you will see lack. If you accept fear, you will encounter failure. But if you accept certainty, the world will shape itself in accordance with your assumption. This is the law. Eliminate all that contradicts your desire, and what remains will be the fulfillment of your vision. Let go of hesitation. Let go of second guessing, and step boldly into the knowing that what you seek is already yours. For in truth, it always was. The need for validation is a chain that binds the soul, a silent thief that robs you of your power. From the moment we are born, we are conditioned to seek approval, to be told that we are worthy, that we are enough, that our dreams and desires are acceptable. Yet, the one who waits for permission from the world will wait forever. The external world is but a reflection of your inner state, and if you seek validation outside of yourself, you have already declared that you do not possess it within. Creation does not come from seeking approval, it comes from knowing. The moment you look to others for validation, you have already surrendered your power, for you have made them the authority over your reality. You must understand that what others think, what they believe, what they say, none of it has any bearing on your ability to manifest your desires. Reality is shaped by assumption, and assumption is shaped by inner conviction, not external agreement. The only opinion that matters is the one you hold about yourself and your desires. Think of the great visionaries, the ones who changed the world. Did they wait for the world to approve of their dreams? Did they seek permission to believe in the impossible? No, they assumed the truth of their vision long before the world recognized it. They did not concern themselves with whether others believed. It was enough that they believed. They lived in the end, knowing that what they imagined must come to pass. The world at first may have laughed, doubted, or ridiculed, but in time it conformed, for it had no choice but to reflect the inner state of the one who persisted. You must do the same. You must detach from the opinions of others, for they are merely projections of their own limitations, not yours. To seek approval is to make yourself a servant of the world, when, in truth, you are its master. You were not born to conform, to fit neatly into the expectations of those around you. You were born to create, to imagine boldly, to bring forth the unseen into the seen. But this can only be done if you first liberate yourself from the need for external validation. Imagine for a moment that no one else existed, that there was no one to approve or disapprove of your dreams. Would you still desire them? Would you still pursue them with the same passion? If the answer is yes, then you have discovered the truth. Your dreams are yours alone, independent of the opinions of others. And if the answer is no, then you have not yet claimed your desires fully. You must ask yourself, do I want this because it is true to me, or because I seek recognition? True creation is born from an internal knowing, not from the fleeting praise of others. The world will tell you what is reasonable, what is acceptable, what is possible. It will try to fit you into a mold to make you one of the many who live in quiet compromise. But you were never meant to live by the world's rules. You were meant to shape the world according to your vision. And to do that, you must let go of the need for anyone to understand, approve, or agree with you. Their approval is not required. Your belief is. Detach yourself from external opinions. Let them say what they will. Let them doubt. Let them question. Let them ridicule. None of it has any power over you unless you accept it. Instead, turn inward. Assume the feeling of already having what you desire. Live in the end, not in the opinions of others. Let your inner world be so filled with the certainty of your wish fulfilled that the outer world has no choice but to conform. Those who seek approval rarely achieve greatness, for they are bound by the expectations of others. But those who dare to believe without needing validation, those who assume their vision as truth, even when no one else does, those are the ones who shape reality. Be one of them. Let go of the need for permission and claim what is already yours. The moment you do, the world will follow. The past is a ghost, powerless except for the life you give it. It lingers only because you choose to dwell upon it, feeding it with your attention, reliving moments that no longer exist. Yet the only time that matters is now, for now is the point of creation. If you wish to step into a new reality, you must let go of all that contradicts the vision you seek to embody. You must eliminate the old self, the version of you tied to past failures, regrets, and limitations. For as long as you carry that identity, you will continue to create from it. Most people live in bondage to their past, defining themselves by what has been rather than what can be. They say, this is who I am because of what I have experienced. But to create a new future, you must dissolve this false identity. You must recognize that your past has no inherent power, only the meaning you assign to it. The person you were yesterday is gone, and the only thing keeping them alive is your willingness to revisit their story. If you cease to identify with the old self, it will vanish like a dream upon waking. The truth is, you are reborn in every moment, shaped by the assumptions you hold now. What happened before does not matter unless you insist on dragging it into the present. If you have failed before, it is irrelevant. If you have suffered, it is a shadow that fades the moment you turn away from it. You are under no obligation to carry old burdens, to define yourself by past wounds. The only thing that matters is the assumption you adopt in this moment, for it is this assumption that creates your future. To eliminate the old self, you must first become aware of the ways in which it clings to you. Notice the moments when you speak as though your past dictates your future. Observe the patterns of thought that arise from past disappointments. Every time you say, "This always happens to me," or "I've never been able to do this," you resurrect the old self, binding yourself to the same reality. But the moment you choose to think differently, to assume a new identity, the past loses its hold. Creation is not about fixing the past. It is about assuming a new state of being. You do not need to analyze old wounds or justify past mistakes. You need only to shift your focus entirely, to step fully into the version of yourself that already has what you desire. If you are already the person who possesses all that you seek, would you still carry the burdens of your past? Would you still identify with your old limitations? No, you would move as if you had always been this new version of yourself. And as you persist in this assumption, the world will reshape itself to reflect it. There is no power in regret, no salvation in guilt. These are illusions, tricks of the mind that keep you tethered to what no longer serves you. To truly free yourself, you must forgive, not only others, but yourself. You must recognize that the past was only a reflection of your previous state of consciousness, and now, with a new state, a new reality must emerge. Forgiveness is not about excusing what has happened, it is about releasing it so that it no longer defines you. The old self is a shadow, and shadows cannot persist in the presence of light. The moment you fully assume a new identity, the past dissolves. It no longer holds power, for you have withdrawn your belief in it. You are not bound by history, you are bound only by the assumptions you accept now. And when you release all that contradicts your chosen reality, you step into the effortless unfolding of your desires. The past is gone. The only question is whether you are ready to stop carrying it. Struggle is not a requirement for success. It is a condition imposed by the mind that believes effort and force are necessary to attain what is already yours. The world has conditioned you to believe only through hardship can you achieve your desires. You have been taught that success comes through toil, that manifestation requires sacrifice, and that ease is a sign of weakness. The truth is that creation is effortless when you align with the feeling of your wish fulfilled. The moment you surrender the belief in struggle, you open the door to the natural and inevitable flow of your desires into your reality. Look around at nature. A tree does not strain to grow. A river does not force itself to flow. The sun does not struggle to rise. There is an effortless unfolding in all of creation, and you are no different. The only reason struggle exists in your experience is because you have accepted it as necessary. You believe that hard work and resistance are required, so you manifest obstacles to justify this belief. But what if you chose to believe differently? What if you assumed that ease was your natural state? That all things come to you effortlessly, that your desires unfold with perfect precision without force or strain. The world would shape itself to match this assumption. Many people equate effort with worthiness. They believe that if they do not struggle, they have not earned their success. But you do not need to earn what is already yours. The very fact that you desire something is proof that it exists for you. You do not need to fight for it. You need only to align with it. Struggle is the byproduct of misalignment, of believing you must force things into being rather than receiving them as a natural extension of your state of consciousness. When you persist in the feeling of your wish fulfilled, you eliminate the need for effort, and what you desire is drawn to you effortlessly. This is not laziness, nor is it passivity. It is the highest form of trust. The understanding that creation is a spiritual process, not a physical one. Those who live in struggle believe that their actions alone determine their success. But those who understand the law know that it is not action but assumption that shapes reality. The one who acts from a state of lack will only create more lack, no matter how much effort they exert. But the one who assumes the state of having already received will move through the world with an ease that others cannot comprehend. Struggle is the language of the old self, the self that believed things had to be difficult, that success was something to be chased. But now you must eliminate this outdated belief. You must recognize that your only work is internal, to dwell so fully in the state of your fulfilled desire that the outer world has no choice but to conform. When you surrender struggle, When you stop trying to force things into being, you create space for them to manifest naturally. You shift from chasing to attracting, from effort to embodiment. If you desire something, do not ask yourself how hard you must work for it. Instead, ask yourself who you must become to have it. Embody that version of yourself now. Walk as if it is already done. Feel the ease, the certainty, the gratitude of already possessing it. And then, without effort, without struggle, you will find it flowing to you in ways you never could have planned. The world will call this luck, but you will know the truth. It was always yours. It was never about struggle. It was always about alignment.